Welcome back to Math Today. Last week we worked on adding, actually this would have been Monday, you worked on adding mixed numbers. So today you were working on subtracting mixed numbers. The only difference is that we really have to think about what happens when we subtract and we can't take the bottom number from the top number. Do we have to borrow things, Noah?
No.
Like let's just say I have this, 100 minus 83. What makes that kind of difficult sometimes when you're learning subtraction? Cadence? Well, we have to have a bigger number on the top. But what you're thinking, I think, you can't take a 3 from a 0, right? So we have to borrow. The same thing happens in mixed numbers. So that's the only tricky part about it. So make sure you're listening, paying attention. Okay? All right, let me get rid of this. I need a reader to read this problem here. And this darling's name is Ursula, and she is picking carrots and radishes. Okay? All right, Josiah, go for it.
Ursula picked carrots and radishes from her garden. She picked four 1/4 pounds of carrots and 1 3/4 pounds of radishes. How many more pounds of carrots did she pick than radishes?
Okay, so let's mark up our problem. We're still practicing this. Everyone should always do this with me. So pencil in hand, I've got my marker. And she doesn't have to tell me markers for me. All right, do we need to underline anything in that first sentence? Abby? No. It sets up the problem, but it's not what we have to use for math. Okay, she picked 4 and 1/4 pounds of carrots. I think that's probably important.
Ursula from the Little Mermaid.
And she picked 1 3/4 pounds of radishes. Everyone should be circling these things in your book. I see about half our pencils moving. Okay, the rest of you need to pick up your pace. And our question, we put our question in a box. How many more pounds of carrots did she pick than radishes? So I want to know how many more pounds of carrots she picked than radishes. Now they're going to kind of walk us through it. So we're going to picture it first. And this, I think, is going to help you a lot. So everyone look at the picture very closely. This first picture, how does that show 4.5 pounds of carrots? Not 4.5, 4 1/4, I apologize. Angie?
Because there's like 4 squares and they each have 4 in them, and then there's 1. And I think they're like doing it 4/4, and maybe they're saying that that's equivalent to 1.
Okay, good. So when we have 4/4, we know 4/4 is one whole thing, right? So each of these boxes is one whole thing. So we've got 4 1/4 pounds of carrots. Now this model shows 4.5 pounds of carrots minus 1 3/4 pounds of radishes. So are the white boxes the same from here copied down? I need everyone looking up here. You're not paying attention. The picture's the same. So the boxes are still the carrots. The radishes, since there were less radishes than carrots, and we want to know how many more carrots, let's fill in the radishes on top of the carrots to see what's left over. Okay? So let's count how many quarters of carrots are left. Everyone needs to count in your book. So we're counting the blank spaces left over after we took out the carrots. So I will count. And I found 7/4. So give me a thumbs up if you got the same amount of fourths that I did. Those of you not doing it, I know you're just not paying attention. Okay? You have to pay attention or you don't learn math. All right. I need to scroll down my screen. And we're going to look at it on the number line next. Some of you might like the number line version better. All right, someone tell me, how did I start at the 4 1/4 dot here? Where'd that come from? Josiah?
Because first you just guessed where it was.
Okay, well, we guessed where to stick it, but how did I know to use this number?
Because the problem asks how much, tells you how much you need.
Right, so we know this is our, what, radishes? Carrots. These are carrots. And we're taking away 1 3/4 for radishes. So they hopped back, and landed at 2 2/4. Now, wait, where's my, 7/4. Why doesn't 7/4 match what they got, 2 2/4? Because we did it right. Hayden?
Well, they didn't make the denominator like a different denominator.
No. Look carefully. We all know how to do this. They say the answer is 2 2/4. Well, when we looked up here, we counted 7/4. Why did we get different answers? Or are they the same, written differently? Abby, what do you think?
I think they're the same written differently.
I think Abby's right. Does anybody think they know why? Noah?
Because we're subtracting that one, and we're not counting the white boxes, we're counting the other boxes that are
The
colored.
quarters, right? Okay, could I change this improper fraction into that mixed number? Could I change that mixed number into that improper fraction? I could. Let's just check and see. Remember our trick. I am confused here. Wait, did we count right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You need to count the other boxes.
Oh, yeah, this problem's really confusing. Sorry those of you at home. This is weird because it's not shaded in, and usually they shade. So you guys were right. We needed to count the other boxes, which should give us a higher number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fourths. This makes more sense. Marker's dead.
We're going to erase the 7.
Yeah, you can erase 7/4 or cross it out. We just counted the wrong spaces. We should have known. The fourths, we didn't read this. The fourths still shaded in red show the difference in weight between the carrots and the radishes. So we needed to be counting these. All right, so if you count these, we get 10. So now when we look at this and compare, it's going to work. So I have 2 2/4 is what they got on the number line. Let's do the trick and see if it equals the same thing. What is 4 times 2? Noah?
8.
8. And then we add on 2 more to the top. So 8 plus 2. Abby?
10.
10. So I did get the same number. Oh. I don't know why I wrote 7 here. It should be 4.
Do you multiply the 4 and the 2 or add them?
The 4 and the 2 you multiply. Great question. So your first step you multiply, then you add what's on the top. Okay? All right. Now all of that is kind of confusing, and we all know that. When they walk us through the first problem, it's a little tricky. So go to the next page. We're going to walk through one together. I'll show you some tricks. All right, so we have the same numbers, and we're going to walk through the whole thing together. Okay? So take a deep breath if you need to. We are just introducing this today. All right. So now we will solve the problem from the previous page using equations. And basically this means you'll get some steps you can follow to solve things, which is good, right? Complete the equations to write 4 1/4 as a fraction greater than 1. Okay. 4 1/4. They separated the 4 and the 1/4 right here. The 1/4 is here, and we need to write the 4 right here. Any ideas what I can put underneath my 16 to make it represent 4? Abby? It's a good guess. So if I divide 16 by something, I'll get 4. He's right. Okay, so for now, just copy with me, okay? I know this is tricky. Sometimes the book is really hard. We're going to try it this way, and then we'll practice more tomorrow, okay? So they split it up into 16/4 and 1/4. So 4 1/4 is how many total fourths? We have to add our numerators. 16 plus 1. Noah?
17.
We have 17/4. So the way they're showing you here how to do the problem, they're saying you can change this into an improper fraction. But can I make it easier than what they just did? Because I don't like that. Okay? So forget that. We know this trick. If I have 4 1/4, can I change that into an improper fraction without doing all this silly stuff?
Yeah.
We sure can. What's our trick? Hayden?
4 times 4.
So 4 times 4 is 16, and then we add 1 to get what on the top? Noah?
17.
17. Do you guys like that trick better than that?
Yeah.
I sure do, okay? Forget that. Forget it. Sometimes they want you to think in different ways, but I think that's just very confusing. Okay, we know that. So if you have a mixed number, you can always just change it right into an improper fraction. Make sure you're still up here with me. So on this problem, we're going to forget that part, and we're just going to change 1 3/4 into an improper fraction. I want you to try it on your own. Try it. We know the trick. Start with your 4, multiply by 1, add on the 3. Our denominator won't change. All right, someone tell me what you got. Madeline, make sure you're with us. Josiah?
7/4.
7/4. Okay, so now they wanted us to subtract 4 1/4, which we said is 17/4, minus 3 1/4, which is the same as 7/4. Can we subtract those pretty easily? I think we can. So let's set it up over here. We've got 17/4, please write with me, minus 7/4. And we do know how to subtract, right? Our denominator, will it change or stay the same? Stay the same. Check your work with mine. Make sure we get the same answer. All right, Angie did. Liam? Okay, I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. No? All right, so we got 10/4. And instead of filling out the rest of this, this is all kind of based off this weird way they want you to do it. Our last step is to change 10/4 to not be an improper fraction. Okay? So I'm just going to write it down here in this number 13 box. I have 10/4. I'm going to show you a really easy way to do this. If you can do more of this mentally in your head, that's fine. But some people need more steps in a process. So when you have an improper fraction, here's what you can do to fix it. Everyone listening? Okay. You can just subtract one whole thing. So I'm going to first, you have to use the same denominator, right, to subtract? So what has to go in the top then? Hayden?
7.
Well,
Oh,
don't I have to keep these the same? So what's this digit?
4.
4. Questions so far how I got 4 4s? The denominator had to stay the same. I have to keep the top the same. All right, I'm taking out one whole thing and I will see what I've got left. Denominator won't change. 10 minus 4 is 6.
How can you get the 4/4 again?
Good question. I wanted to take out one whole thing from 10/4. And I know that 4/4 is one whole thing. But the way I knew I had to use 4/4 is because my denominators have to match. So my first step, I copied my 4 and decided, well, the only choice up here is a 4. Okay? So then we subtracted, we got 6/4. Is that a good answer, or are we still improper? Wake up, wake up.
Improper?
We're still improper. Can I take out one whole thing again? Yeah, same way we did before. So I'm going to model it again. So pay attention, Angie. I'm going to subtract one whole thing because I can. It's improper. I have to use a 4 in my denominator. And if I put a 4 in the bottom, I have to put a 4 in the top. So now 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 stays the same. Is 2/4 an improper fraction?
No.
Josiah?
No.
No. So can that be a good answer?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is one way to do it. I'm going to show you a lot of ways because there are so many ways to subtract mixed numbers.
Is it okay if we still don't get this?
It is super okay. All right? Let's just show so everybody in here understands. If you perfectly understand this, thumb straight up. If you don't, thumbs to the side. I think most of the class is thumbs to the side or thumbs down, okay? So everyone look around. It's okay, right? You're good right now. So all I want you to know, when you're subtracting and adding mixed numbers, your answer needs to not be improper, okay? So today we did a lot of practice, and it was really hard. I'm not going to give you homework. I was going to give you homework tonight. I'm not going to do that. We're going to go over 2 or 3 problems on the homework sheet, and then we'll go over the rest of it tomorrow, okay? All right, so friends at home, there are many, many different methods to do this. You can leave your fractions as improper fractions to add or subtract, or you can do it as mixed numbers. So tomorrow we will practice doing it in mixed number format, okay? All right, good luck. Thanks for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.